Alright, Altars by Kronos. This is going to bring you an updated deck tech. I was not going to do another update, but to be honest with you, I didn't want to remove the video, but the second version had too many flaws that I did not foresee. I thought the Giant Gross would work because I do play it in a black version that was originally this deck, where it was all the colors the same, but I played heavy black. So I played Black Knights, and I played Sanger Vampires, and I played 4 Giant Growths, and those really put a hurting on people. Because I would Giant Growth a Black Knight and have a 5/5 first strike protection from white, and it was a real pain in the butt. So I did play 4 Curt Apes, and I did play 4 Savannah Lions in that one. So I took partial out to that, and I revamped it, and this is the version I'm going to stick with for quite a while now. I may make 1 or 2 card changes, but I'm not going to do another dead tech on that little tiny change. But I wanted to show you this version. This is the one that I'm playing now. So let's check things out. So first we're just going to go with the lands. We have the basic one-offs. I'm not going to go through them crazy, but it's the same exact one-offs as before. You have your Savannah, your Scrub, your Plains, your Hammerheim, and your Strip Mine. Love this Plains, by the way. And if you're interested in any altars, just message me. You can find me on Discord or any of those things. All the information's linked together here somewhere, but just reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to do anything you want. If you send me the cards, it's cheaper, but I do have the unlimited lands, so it's not really going to be that crazy. It really only gets crazy if we're talking like Cities of Brass and things like that. Speaking of cities, here's the next 3. City of Brass. I play 3 off of those. I play the 4 Bayous, 4 Plateaus, and the 4 Taigas. Again, definitely love the lands, have not had a problem with it. Creatures. Play the one off of the Shivan Dragon, 3 Urnums, 4 Gargoyles. And this is where it gets a little different. 3 Curt Apes. So now I'm very restricted on the Arabian Nights. So City in a Bottle is not going to harm me very much. I can easily sideboard out and only have 6 Arabian Nights in the entire deck, or none, depending on what I'm doing. And this is where it changes. There's the 4 Savannah Lions. I gotta alter the other ones. And the 4 Birds of Paradise. So I went with those because the 4 birds protect me even more against blood moons. And typically what I find for people, if they end up bolting the birds, throwing the blood moons out, using all their stuff, the lions, you're going to have at least a line or 2 out. They're going to get rid of, they're going to panic on the Curt Apes, they're going to go desperation mode on the Gargoyles, and even if I get hit by it and I don't have a single green and not a single bird in this deck that's out, the dragon will absolutely finish them off. I do not have problems against those types of decks at all, and I've definitely played some good ones. But I've not ever been caught by a blood moon where it continued to harm me. I've always got out of it. The one-offs. Obviously we have a Soul Ring, the Library. It's really just a target. I almost feel like taking it out, but we'll play it for a little while yet and see what happens. The Mind Twist, Wheel of Fortune, Regrowth, Chaos Orb, Demonic Tutor. And for the removal, I'll play 4 Swords to Plowshares, 2 Chain Lightnings, again just because they're sometimes hard to cast, 4 Lightning Bolts, 4 Disenchants, and the Fireball. That removal package seems to be pretty sweet. Part of me really wants to go to 1 more card just to add 1 more chain back in there. But typically I'm going to hit you at least once, and if I hit you once or twice, I'm going to be able to burn you out. Sideboard. This is where a lot of people don't like this card because it's 2 mana, but sometimes in Swedish you do run across black, not as often, but Troll Disco is definitely a thing. Well, Troll Disco is typically black and red, and so are other decks like Dead Guy Ale and things like that. So Greater Realm is a nightmare card, because typically they see there's not a lot of enchantments and artifacts in my deck. So what do? They side out almost all their removal. What happens? I side in my 4 Suchis and my Greater Realm. Then they have a hard choice. What am I going to disenchant now? So Greater Realm is awesome. I know it's 1 more against red, but it's just a personal preference of mine. I did 2 red elemental blasts. There's the 3 Suchis I was talking about. Now, these are the cards I wanted to put in before, and I'm definitely going to keep them in here. It just helps with Abyss. This way I have 6 cards to get rid of Abyss in my deck, so even if they counter some here and there, I shouldn't have a problem. There's the 2 Crossroads. Here's the 3 Divine Offerings. Yes, 3, because I don't like artifacts, and the deck also is a problem child for this. So I did 3 Divine Offerings, 2 Armageddons, a Balance if needed, and 1 Terror. That was from Goblin Hero. Definitely recommend going to Goblin Hero Cup. If you haven't heard of it, please look it up. Jonathan's a great guy. He runs it. Has some other guys help him out, but it's for a great cause. We had a lot of people there last time. I would definitely look up playing there. It's a wonderful time. But this is my deck tech. I find it works really well. I could really use some input, so if you guys have any thoughts on this, please let me know. But I so far played a couple games with it this way, and I've always loved the Savannah Lions and Kurt Apes. They are devastating to people. If they waste their bolts on the birds, these 2 are going to hurt them really bad, because I guarantee you I'm going to plow your big creature, burn down your little ones, disenchant your artifact creatures. I'm going to get through. So what I have the hardest time with, people do not bolt the bird, and they save it for the Lions and Kurt Apes, but then they get hurt in the end because they can't get rid of my gargoyles. They end up plowing and bolting these combos, and they just cannot get rid of all the gargoyles, and when the Djinns come out, they can't get rid of them either because of 5 toughness. And the Shivan Dragon usually comes in and just absolutely eats people alive at the end, because there's nothing left for them to do. I definitely just played another game with this deck. I've only got to play 1. I had to go, and then when I got back, the gentleman had to go too, so we really didn't get any more than 1 game recorded, but it is definitely the deck versus the Dune. So it was pretty cool to me. I love that. Again, this is called Dune because that is the colors. I look up Magic the Gathering without blue and everything else, it's called Dune. So what is this called? The Dune, because I took a play off of some of the other ancient guys that have been playing since I started way back in the day, but are better than me. And I took everything that I found that was good in these colors, the best cards in the format, and the ones that all play together. And that's exactly what I put together. This wonderful deck that is so fun to play. I think I got the sideboard pretty good. I gotta test out if I want to play 3 Crossroads or not, but I think I need the 2 Elemental Blasts for blue. It definitely helps me get rid of a lot of the bigger guys. For instance, if it's Atog with Dibs and Atogs, the Terror and the 2 Blasts give me 3 more removal for your creatures. So even if you have a counterspell here and there, I'm going to have 7 ways to destroy your important creatures without using any of my burn spells, including Fireball. So that's why I really haven't had a problem with Atog. I find that between The bolts, the plows, and the blasts, I pretty much overran everything. I do sided Armageddons because this can be extremely dangerous. If I get an ape and a lion out, and I turn around on turn 3 and I pop down a land and Armageddon, and you don't have any creatures on the board, that's 4 damage per turn. And I have a bird out, so I have one of every color. If you've noticed, nothing in here is double except for the dragon, which is 2 red. Everything else is a single color. I always design things that way on purpose. That's why when you look at the deck, you see it heavily favoring blue, because that's where the double is. A lot of other decks you look at, like for instance decks that would run Fork, they may not run it because it's double red. Usually they play around, but please look me up, play some games with me, we'll record them, post them online for you. You can look back, learn, whatever helps you out. Again, I'm not doing this for a lot of views or anything crazy. I'm not expecting a single penny or anything from this. I do alters, so if you're looking for something like that and you like the extended inked version, that's fine. These are not acrylic paint, this is ink, so this will not stick to your sleeve. It will not come off easy. Technically, if you sat down and rubbed it real hard with a Q-tip or your finger or something like that, you could damage and take off the ink. But I highly recommend not doing that. Otherwise, I find the special inks that I use, it works out really well. So hopefully that was some enjoyment for you. Look forward to playing you guys or getting some comments. Please help me out on this. Have a wonderful day.